Welcome to the eighth episode of Political Animals. I'm Mustafa Janadu in Washington, D.C. I haven't had my beer. I can't even remember where I am. Kunle Williams is in Lagos, Nigeria. We bring you an analytical and a cynical view of what's going on in the world today. I'm the cynical one. Kunle Williams is the ideal one. Anyway, let's go quickly, very quickly. Let's look at this. The Democrats are complaining. They're doing the best they can to get the military out of, to get the state, not even military. These are um, state, what they call it, reserves, which are being sanctioned by Trump. They're doing their best to get it out. And my question is there really an emergency that you need to get them out? Why are they so passionate about getting those troops out? It's not like the troops are killing anybody or anybody's getting hurt. The real problem right now is that they have lawlessness in their city. They have people who are burning cars and don't respect the police, and they're worried more. They're under siege right now, and they're worried about Trump rather than worrying about squashing that. So my thing is that they're politicizing it. After all of this is done, you can say, "Oh, never in my country has it's not good for America to turn its military on its people." It's not turning its military on its people. It's using its military to defend the ICE buildings. That's the only area. And my thing is that for them to be focused, for the governor of California to be focused on squashing, on going to the courts, trying to stop Trump, rather than focusing on how to tell the protesters to go home, is a big problem. And I believe that the Democrats orchestrated this whole protest because they're against Trump getting rid of illegal citizens, because illegal aliens, because they don't. It's a sanctuary state. These problems are not happening in states which aren't sanctuary. It's happening in Philadelphia. There are riots. There are not riots. There's protests. There's protests in New York. Protests in D.C. All of these are sanctuary liberal states, and then they're against Trump's policy. We have to remember there's two different things. There's the policy of deporting citizens, deporting aliens, and sometimes even wrongly deporting aliens when they can stay here. That policy should be challenged by the courts, but not going to court to challenge him, sending in troops for something which is a case other than the deportation issue. This is a case of civil disobedience, which is crossing the line, where people are spitting on policemen, people are burning property. That's what Trump is addressing. Now, if they have a problem with his immigration laws and his immigration policies, they should take that to court instead. What do you think, Kunle? Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I look at the whole thing holistically, the West basically has blamed especially American government, which is an oligarchical government of billionaires. Yeah, blamed the poverty of the poor people on another bunch of poor people who are these illegal immigrants, because they don't want anyone to actually realize that the reason they're poor is because 90%.
Yeah, but let's be on track, because what we're fighting about here is the Democrats saying that it's wrong for Trump to bring in troops. That's a separate question. What you're bringing up, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So that's at the base stage. Now, when you look at the operational issues of what's going on, yes, Trump is basically doing what he's trying to do. He's doing the correct thing. I think most presidents, when they've had issues like this, where they've had big riots and heavy riots, they've had to call out the National Guard. He's not the first person to do it. They haven't shut down the protests. The protests are still ongoing. This is the fifth day of them. So now we're looking at, so what is it that the Democrats are trying to gain some relevance in this? That's what they are trying to do. Looking at the whole holistic picture again, what is going on is that there's the divide that AIPAC has to show between the American people. It has to show that there is a divide. The racial divide and the financial divide is blurred, and they don't really want to speak about it, but they have to divide on race. They have to divide on income in order to maintain that parity. When they maintain that parity, they can maintain the illusion that you have options. But actually, the two parties, as I've always said, and I keep maintaining, are both far-right parties. It's just one party is using a delusion, and the other party is saying, yes, I'm far-right. So when we look at the optics of it again like that, that's why I say that it's all an act. Yes, the Democrats are genuinely trying to gain power, but they're trying to make their illusion work. Now, I don't know. Trump is part of the system. I don't know how well he understands the system, or whether he breaks the norms of the system, which is what makes AIPAC nervous about what Trump's going to do next, because they've seen him betray his allies. So they never know what he's going to do next. So Trump, at the end of the day, supports the rich. And
Yeah,
because
and they don't have to worry because that's the only thing I'm against Trump on is that
exactly,
he's not going to lift a finger for Palestine. So then APAC doesn't have to worry about him because he's not
that's
going to turn on Palestine. Yeah.
that's what I was going to say. He's an oligarch, so at the end of the day, because he's an oligarch, even though he's unpredictable, he will naturally fall on the side of APAC because he falls on the side of protecting the rich and maintaining
But
their
he's not gonna
interests.
take
So
shit from. He's not taking shit from Netanyahu though. That's different. APAC is different from Netanyahu. You understand what I'm saying? Netanyahu's a fool, and now he's angry now because Trump doesn't talk to him because Trump knows that Netanyahu's out of control with his bullshit. You get my point? But he's not going to stop giving funding to Israel.